Hey guys, welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today. Got a fun video for y'all today. We're going to have a little fun, and we're going to speculate what the world of bass fishing would look like if I owned Bassmaster and MLF. How I would run the organizations, how I'd change the rules, how I'd right the ship, how I'd make the entire fishing world better. So we're going to get into that in today's video, and definitely looking forward to getting your feedback as well. Also, guys, for get started, a couple quick things here. You guys may have heard me talking about it the last couple of weeks, but if you guys are in the market for a new bait cast reel, guys, I'd highly suggest checking out this new Cast King ALTI bait cast reel. This thing is the first bait cast reel I have ever been able to use where you can actually cast it and not even thumb the spool. And it's because it's got this halo vortex braking system on there, and when you adjust it right, it's pretty much backlash free. I've never seen anything like it. It's got the world's first true titanium spool, 11 ball bearings, built for stout, and priced right at around $200, guys. I can't believe that they can sell it that cheap considering how great of a reel it is. So the Cast King link, or my Cast King link, will be in the description of this video. And if you use the promo code Randy10, you get Randy10, you get an additional discount. You can also get it on my Tackle Warehouse link. Tackle Warehouse carries these reels as well, so definitely appreciate that. And again, guys, thank you everybody that's taken time to subscribe here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate that. Okay, guys, let's dive into this this reality that I would really like to experience. Now, okay, let's just assume that, you know, I'll buy 1 or 2 Powerball tickets a year. You know, when that thing gets up to like $1 billion or something, I'll buy one. What the heck, you know, somebody's got to win it. Here's what would happen if I won the $1 billion. First of all, I would buy out all of the major tournament organizations, MLF, Bassmaster, NPFL, everything out there. Make them an offer they can't refuse, just to eliminate any of the, you know, the hoo-ha around that and the competition. Let them walk away with a bunch of money, and we're going to start with a clean slate. So at that point, I'm going to be in charge of setting the rules for both organizations. We are going to clean house. We are going to make bass fishing the greatest sport in the world like it used to be, because it's been completely destroyed over the past 5 years. And this is how we're going to do it. First of all, with the MLF side, we're going to get back to probably change the name on it too. We're going to get back to the old Redman days. The old Redman tournament circuit, guys, was the original FLW, then it turned into MLF. And they had the Redman tournament circuit, which is now the BFLs. I would get rid of everything on MLF except for the BFL circuit. The BFL circuit is the best circuit going right now. I'll give that, you know, I've been really critical of MLF, but guys, their BFL circuit is exceptional. It's awesome. It's affordable to the weekend angler. Tournaments don't pay out that great anyway, but anyway, you got a lot of potential options to, you know, advance and win some significant money. I'd take it back. It used to be like they had regional classics and they gave away a fully rigged truck and boat. Get that set up again, put some more money into the All-American, really make it the BFL, own the weekend bass angler like they used to be. Get rid of all the Bass Pro Tour, get rid of the Toyota Series, get rid of everything. So MLF would be nothing but the BFL circuit. And we would really, really cater and try to serve those weekend anglers as good as we could. Next thing with Bassmaster, first thing we're going to clean house. We're going to take it back to 1990. What we're going to have is the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit, which was the best circuit they ever had. And then you're going to have the Bassmaster Invitationals as a qualifying criteria to get into the top 100s. The Bassmaster Invitationals, we're going to have probably 3 or 4 tournaments, make it affordable to the weekend guy where he can actually have a chance to actualize his dream. Maybe some guy works, full-time job, but he has a dream of being a pro angler, so we make it affordable. Have the invitational circuit out there, open it up to 350 anglers. Because I feel that if you open it up to like 350 anglers, you're going to pretty much let about anyone that wants to get in is going to be able to get in. We used to have 300 anglers back when I fished, back in the 80s and early 90s. So open it up to a big field And like at the, at the end of the season, maybe like the top 25 or 30 advance to the top 100s next year, and then have the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit. But what we're going to do on this thing is like the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit is going to be the route to qualify for the Bassmaster Classic. There's only going to be 35 guys in the Classic. It's going to be nice and simple. You qualify for the Bassmaster Classic by finishing in the top 25 in the point standings. For the year, like there's top 35 in the point standings, like it used to be. None of this 50 and 60 man field where everybody and his brother gets in from some other type of a deal. It's going to be a professional circuit. It's cut and dry. There's no freaking, everything's transparency. You finish in the top 35 and the top 100s, and you go to the Bassmaster Classic. At the Bassmaster Classic, this is when you really market the pros that are there. These are professional anglers. You give them opportunities, to capitalize on that. It's basically taking it back to 1990, and then have a complete rule restructure. And this is the biggest part of it, guys. We are going to get rid of all the bullshit that happens on MLF and all that type of stuff right now. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get rid of those damn electronics. You're going to be allowed to have one two-dimensional sonar on your boat, on the console, and you're going to have one two-dimensional sonar up front. There's not going to be any GPS allowed. You can use a compass. So you're going to have to use a paper map and a compass for your navigation, which requires some skill and time on the water. And you've got two-dimensional sonar that is basically just going to tell you the depth of the water, and it might show you bait fish or whatever. So that's going to be the electronic restructuring. We're not going to have any of this crap where, people are connected by their umbilical cord to their electronics, all of the out-of-control forward-facing sonar, AI bullshit that we see right now. There's not going to be any more of these 18 and 19-year-old kids that come out of nowhere and start dominating the sport through live scoping. You're going to have to pay your dues like everybody has. You're going to have dirt time on the water. You're going to have to hone your craft. You're going to have to understand the nuances of seasonal patterns and movements of bass. You're not going to have any crutch to aid you in catching fish. You're supposed to be a professional, and you're going to fish like a professional, and it's going to be harder than it is for other people. If you're a professional bass angler on the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit that I own, you are going to fish to find your fish. You are not going to let your electronics find your fish for you. So that's the biggest thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take all these handcuffs off of the creativity. The only rule that's going to be allowed, the only rule that is going to be in effect as far as what you can and what you can't do is what is legal by state and federal law. If you're on a body of water, if we're fishing Table Rock Lake or whatever, you can do whatever you want to catch your fish as long as you're abiding by state laws, except for the use of live bait. We're going to make it artificial only. But, all this stuff about not being able to get out of your boat to drag it across a mud bar or a sandbar or something like this, all this stuff about, not about taking away your creativity to get into hard to reach areas. If you can get into there and you stay on your body of water, more power to you to do it. You're going to have, as long as it's legal under the statutes of the law with that. The age with it on there, we probably move the age range up to like 21 with it. I think that, for one reason I say that is I just think that 21, I think anglers have matured by that point to where, that is just a good age for them to get into the professional circuits out there, and simplify it. Just simplify the rules where everybody's got basic equipment. As far as the boats go, you're going to be limited. The biggest boat that you can have would be a 19-foot boat, 150 horsepower limit, and then you can have any boat that you want to have as long as you have the safety equipment and the all that type of stuff to put make it safe. You got to have just everything's got to be Coast Guard approved, in other words. But if you want to have like a 14-foot John boat with a 5 horsepower motor on it to get back into hard to reach area because you're going to be creative, more power to you, as long as you have all your safety equipment and it's Coast Guard approved, passes all that type of stuff. Next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to get rid of the weigh-ins. You don't need weigh-ins in today's, time of social media. You're going to have a marshal on the boat with you that's going to watch everything. The marshal is going to be the person that is responsible for weighing the bass and recording the weight of the bass. And then those bass go back into the water. So there's not even any need for a live well on the boat. If you want, like I said, if you want to fish out of a canoe, as long as it's legal and safe, you can fish out of a canoe. But we're going to make it affordable for everybody. We're not going to allow these dudes to have these $150,000 bass boats with $50,000 electronics. And this is what's going to happen. Since all this stuff is opened up and since all these handcuffs have been taken off the anglers and anglers are going to actually have to fish to find fish, you're going to have some unbelievable storylines. Like I said, what if some guy, gets in a 12-foot flat bottom and reaches like the extreme upper end of some creek or something up there and wins the tournament? Just all this type of stuff. The storylines are unlimited, what could come out of this using the creativity of the anglers' minds. They're going to be limited on their equipment too. They're only going to be allowed 6 rod and reels in the boat. They're going to be allowed 1 tackle box. That way everybody is on a level playing field. We're going to take all this stuff away. If some guy can afford to have 30 rod and reels in his boat that are $1,000 a piece and freaking their boat's packed full of every lure that they particular own, that's not a level playing field. But if you have a limitation of like 6 rod and reels and 1 tackle box, everybody is on the same playing field with that. And therefore the skill and the talent emerges with that. So that's just a few of the rules, guys. There's a bunch of other stuff as far as, your interaction with social media, how that can be benefited. But it basically takes fishing back to where it needs to be. A pure sport where you fish to find the fish. You've got this creativity that is injected in the sport. You have to use your creativity, your imagination, your ingenuity to catch fish. You have to use your primal skills. We have become a generation of weak-ass bass anglers that rely on technology to, help us catch fish. That's all that is to it right now. It's just a disgusting disgrace of what has happened to the sport over the past 30 years. We're going to have to get rid of all that. And I can promise you guys that type of a situation, everything would be more appealing. It benefits the entire industry. It benefits the media. It benefits the anglers. It benefits the fans. Everything is accentuated by it. And basically what you do, you take the sport out of the hands of the people that are just in it for money. I would create a situation where it was a nonprofit organization. I wouldn't be in it to make any money at all. I would just want to be in it to ensure the survivability of the sport and make the sport the best that it can be. Allow the anglers to have some ownership in the organization, as a nonprofit does. And I don't see what could be possibly wrong with that. So anyway, guys, that's what's going to happen. If you hear me win the Powerball one day, that's what you can expect to see in this sport. So we'll talk later.